This is for entertainment purposes only, ladies and gentlemen. None of this is believable. None of this is truth. This is just a theory and a question, a hypothesis, and hypothetical. It's called like that. I want to say that right now. So there's evidence on YouTube of me saying this. Now, ladies and gentlemen, right off the bat, conspiracy theories. Yeah, no music this time. Just nice and creepy. Now, Mr. Larry Gaines, what is your thoughts on conspiracy theories? And if you can, and if you want to, do you have one?
I mean, lately, since I have decided not to watch TV and I read a lot of books, I listen to a lot of podcasts, a lot of times when I'm interacting with people, they always say that I'm just into these conspiracy theories. So I'm sure that as we continue to talk, some of them are going to come up, such as aliens. It's one of them.
Which, by the way, has been approved by the government in the last couple of weeks. So that's not coming from, that's not bull crap, ladies and gentlemen. That's actually was confirmed by the White House. Okay? Just saying that. My conspiracy theory is, I guess, underground dwellers of people that live beneath us over the last decades.
Mm-hmm.
I guess in a sense, like people that just don't want to be in the they realize they can just live down underground for years, decades, centuries, even, and not really give a crap about anybody else. That's just my thing. But you know, I believe in lizard people. I don't do that crap. If we haven't seen one yet, and you know what? What's weird is that check out the movie V. Ever since that movie's out, oh, lizard people, they made a movie. They wanted to show it in our faces. No, they just wanted to make an alien movie. Just shut the fuck up. Come on.
Okay, so speaking of conspiracy theories, do you believe that whenever they want to show us something, they put it right in front of our face?
Mm-hmm.
Either movies, and they have the celebrities, put up little signs or, stuff in the music videos.
Yeah. Yeah, what a surprise that during the 90s, when technology and AI was going as fast and we were exploring and seeing new things we've never seen before, The Matrix comes out. iRobot, things that just systematically has taught us to never trust robots. Then later on in life, anything that's not our skin color of any other race of the world would be a threat to humanity. Then now we're seeing movies of extra dimensional and multiverse. And so that's, I've always believed that. They're just putting it out there. It's easier to put it out there so you're desensitized to it when it actually happens. Honestly. I think. Like the movie V, where aliens were everywhere.
What's now I just lost my train of thought. Contagion? There we go. Mm-hmm. Movies like that.
That was a good movie too. There was actually another movie, something like that too. Like there was based on another. No, well, V is based on like alien, like reptiles came to Earth and they had like human skin covered. But Contagion is a good point.
And Outbreak.
Oh, of course, Outbreak. Then there's 28 Days Later. Then there's freaking like all these things that come out. There was a movie during C-19 where it was like in the future, people are just staying in their homes now, and now even in your homes you can get a virus, and it gets worse and worse. I'm like, all right, now you're just fear mongering us right now, and people put millions of dollars to make this movie, which was ridiculous. That's what I mean. But thank you, Monix Blade. I believe all of it is shown to us, but in the least obvious ways. Okay? Like the conspiracy theory of no one can concisely tell you who invented the CD. If you look it up right now, it tells you it's the technology, but no one can, tell you. That's something. But like always, Mr. Ladies and gentlemen, Larry and Gary has a choice. A, B, or C in the clips of videos, ladies and gentlemen. And for you, Larry Gaines. So which one do you want?
Let's keep it music themed because you know I do music. I always like the B side of albums, so let's just go with B side.
B. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, this is for entertainment purposes only. You decide yourself.
The most famous woman pilot ever, Amelia Earhart, did not mysteriously disappear on her last flight. She was eaten by giant crabs and they found her skeletal remains. During her flight around the world, she was running out of fuel in the middle of the Pacific Ocean right before she was supposed to land on Howland Island. But she couldn't make it, so it's rumored that she crash landed on the tiny Niku Island that was on the same exact coordinate path that she was factually flying on. That island is notoriously home to these giant killer coconut crabs that can break a human's bone with its claw with as much force as a lion's jaw. 3 years after she disappeared, researchers found this incomplete skeleton on Niku Island where the bones looked like they were torn apart limb from limb. Back then, researchers weren't exactly sure they were Amelia's skeletal remains, but in 2017, a forensic anthropologist examined the bones and determined that they were almost definitely Amelia's. Furthering that, they found an old campfire set up on the beach, a device that helps pilots determine their longitude and latitude, landing gear from a plane sticking out of the water off the shore of the island, and a shoe from the same exact brand that Amelia Earhart was last seen in. I'm gonna show the craziest piece of evidence, but before I do, make sure you follow so you finally know the craziest conspiracy theories about each of these celebrities and requests you want to see next. Scientists went back to the island and found this container of this brand of freckle cream, which Amelia was notoriously known for using. Girl was eaten by crabs.
So, Miss Land Gaines, as entertainment purposes only, truth or just hoax?
I think that would be a hoax.
Okay. I actually believe that to be true because, again, Amelia Earhart disappeared. To find that specific type of freckle cream, to find those bones in that island, almost identical to her body. We've never found the plane. They've never found it. We know that she was going from east to west through the Atlantic and disappeared. And now I've seen coconut crabs. Those suckers can literally open a coconut with their claws like it's nothing. And again, those can break bones like it's just twigs for coconut crabs. And they're really big. They're not like crabs like this. They're like this big. Like about that big. And I was watching a show on Roku. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, Roku still exists. Amelia Earhart was definitely eaten by wherever she ended crashed. That's true. And I don't think it's 100% accurate, but something happened to that woman. Thank you. Because they even make, thank you for bringing this up, Onyx. They even bring it up in the Night of the Museum, the second movie, where they were making fun of Amelia Earhart, and then she liked Ben Stiller's character. And at the end, she's like, "Oh, she's going the wrong way." Like she was just notoriously a bad pilot, but she's famous for crossing so many things. So I'm just saying. Everyone watching, hit that like and subscribe. Now. That's crazy too. Like the guy who made the here's an add-on conspiracy. Entertainment purposes only, Miss Lauren Gaines. True or conspiracy? I've always thought about this. The guy who made the La Bamba with Buddy Holly. Freak accident or planned for fame? Obviously.
I don't know. A lot of the stars. That's a tough one. I don't want to say that. Well, I don't want to be responsible for saying that because I know that a lot of people think that about Aaliyah.
Oh yeah. Yeah, dude. And the guy and the band of Leonard Skinnerd and a couple of other artists as well who have died by mysteriously plane crashes. And what's weird is that you don't see that many commercial airline crashes at all through history, but there's a lot of private plane crashes.
And that's one of the reasons why Aretha Franklin refused to fly.
That's fine. I respect that and I understand that. Mr. Lauren Gaines, A or C?
Let's go with A.
Okay. Now, before I put this out, there was breaking news that just came out, I think yesterday or today. So I want to put that out there. This is a conspiracy theory that actually connects to breaking news. And everyone watching it that like. Here we go.
Who killed Tupac and Biggie? And I think both of these dudes were assassinated in some kind of way. More Biggie than Tupac. I think Tupac got killed by a dude that they, you know, had an incident with earlier that day. But Biggie's seems a little JFK. Governmental to me.
That was Ice Cube. Ice Cube is that was Ice Cube, ladies and gentlemen. Ice Cube getting a lot of trouble by just saying whatever he wants to say. And that's Ice Cube. We'll put that out there. So breaking news is that apparently the cousin of the guy who got beat up at that casino got arrested by the police after 16 years. And he apparently is the murderer of Tupac. Now, let's start with that first. Why did it take him so long? And by the way, a year or 2 years ago, it was discovered that when Tupac died, he was next to the policeman, and he told something to the policeman before he died. The policeman never said what it was until like 2 years ago. What were those words? F the police. Okay, that was out of his words. Now, what are your thoughts on this apparent suspect?
Again, I don't want to speak out of pocket, but it took this long, is what I want to say. It took this long. I think that a lot of this is a distraction. I really do. I think it's a distraction. I think it's to keep us off of what's going on in the real world. Okay. And I'm going to just leave it at that. So it took all of this time.
Exactly. And just out of nowhere, almost up to the 6-year anniversary. And thank you, Unexplained. Wow, but not surprising.
And that's why I didn't even make that a part of my music news. I'm going to just tell you all that because I didn't even want to.
I love that. I love that. Oh, my God. Thank you for this, Unexplained, too. I don't think that's the guy. I agree with Laren that it's a distraction. It's true. Out of nowhere, that out of 16 years, now the guy's going to be like, oh, yeah, we got him. We done a 16-year investigation of a gangbang shooting because obviously the video evidence of the guy that they beat up is there, just connected to the family, and 16 years later, it was the family. And with Biggie, I am not even going to touch that because honestly, nope. I'm just putting it out there for entertainment purposes only. That's Ice Cube that said that.
And here's my thing. I really have a problem with people who just believe everything that's on the news. It really drives me crazy that just because it's on the news, we want to go ahead and jump and believe it. It's all a distraction, and it's to keep people, like you said earlier, in fear, and it is to program you to believing things that sometimes are not reality.
That's right. Thank you for saying that. And there's a lot of things that would put out saying, oh, this is true. And then years later, like basically people remember the whole butter is bad for you. A few years later, butter is good for you. Bacon is bad for you. A few years later, bacon is good for you. For the last 20 years, ladies and gentlemen, they have never truly decided what's good and not good for you. And if you look this up, this is not a conspiracy theory. This is the fact. The 4 major food groups that were the triangle, the pyramid of food, was not a real thing that doctors made to help us. That was something that a company made saying, let's put some fucking money on this shit. But that's another story.
Speaking of that, real quick, do you know the #1 food that is more addictive than drugs, than alcohol?
It's not milk. It's probably sugar.
Yeah, you got it.
Yeah, probably sugar. Yeah, sugar is the one thing that fuels it. Because also, what a surprise that I've been saying this for years. Splenda has the same thing they use in insecticides. Same thing in a small amount. And they just announced at the end of this month, they're going to discontinue using Splenda in all products across the board because they realize it has insecticide in it. Again, not conspiracy theories. These are things that I've been saying for years, and it just came out. Now, main event. I don't even remember what this one is, so this is going to be juicy. Let's go.
Might not want to eat Oreos anymore. We all know and love Oreo cookies for its signature taste. But if you look closely at an Oreo cookie, you'll notice that there are symbols on top of it that might carry a different meaning. Well, you see, that double-cross eternal symbol actually represents the Leviathan symbol in the satanic realm. The word Oreos originates from the ancient Greek and Egyptian term Aureus, which just happened to be the Egyptian serpent that people used to worship. Furthermore, it was reported that the Oreo company had built a super secret doomsday bunker in Norway, where they claimed to house the formula for Oreo. But who knows what is really being hidden down there? It may be a stretch, but just how like Christians partake in the body of Christ, this might be the satanic way of fooling the world into a satanic ritual. But all people can say is,
again, I don't remember that part. This channel always goes for heaven or hell. Now, we're not going to say that Oreo's a satanic cult. We're not going to say that. But here's a question for you, Laren. Why the hell would they make a super underground bunker in Norway?
I have no idea.
It's not Coca-Cola. Like Chips Ahoy have been rocking it side by side, and not that. I thank you, Unexplained. I think that's BS too. Like it. One more comment from him. I don't think Oreo has anything to do with a cult. I don't think so either. Again, these are just random things that I find. And again, I don't even buy Oreos. I buy Chips Ahoy. Like, is Chips Ahoy the Angels? Is that what we're doing? But your thoughts on this?
I saw the picture. The only thing I can say is I saw the picture.
Yes.
And I put two and two together, and I saw the picture. So how can we deny when we saw the picture? That's why is that on there? That's what I want to know.
Yeah. It's just, I just found this out, by the way. Fanta. Go on.
No, okay. I thought you were still on Oreo. Go ahead.
No. I'm not. Oreo is not a cult thing. Come on, guys. Like, if they wanted to do something, they had 60 years to do something, by the way.
I'm not saying that it's a cult, but people who have the ability to just put stuff out there just to do it, I believe they would do it, such as the Disney movies where on the cover they had or they had the letters SEX and the Lion King and stuff like that. Because they do it. I mean, SpongeBob. I mean, I go back and I watch some stuff and I'm like, I can't believe it. And Ren and Stimpy, the stuff that you see when you go back and you watch that. So not saying that it's a cult, but did they put that stuff in there on purpose just so that they can, sit back and say, hey, we did it? Probably. I mean, we saw the
90s were weird.
But go ahead.
The 90s were weird, Laren. There was so many stuff. Anyway, here's a fun fact that's not a conspiracy theory that I just found out. Do you know who invented Fanta?
I was going to say something jacked up, but no.
No. Okay. Here's the story of Fanta. I didn't know about this. This is messed up. This is not even a conspiracy theory. This is reality and truth. Look it up. During the World War between Germany and everybody else, Coca-Cola was distributing their bottles everywhere, right? But when the Nazis started, doing their thing, Coca-Cola cut them off and closed their Germany offices and their companies in Germany. They closed it up. We're out of here. Because most countries have their own factories to produce their things there. I've been to Bahrain, ladies and gentlemen. They make Coca-Cola in Bahrain and actually says it. Tastes totally different. That's something altogether. So, a scientist wanted to duplicate Coca-Cola for Hitler. Didn't really work out, right? Then he's like, well, I'll try to make soda myself. But Hitler and his crew didn't want to give the sugar because sugar rations were being hoarded for the war. I get that. So he used decomposed fruits and everything else. And eventually he made Fanta. And he told them, you can make Fanta, but Fanta has to be by the mark of Nazis. So ladies and gentlemen, what you drink now, Fanta, was made by a scientist for Hitler. Real fact. I'm not making that crap up. It's just damn. But final thoughts on conspiracy theories, Mr. Laren Gaines.
No wonder it's pushed in certain neighborhoods.
Especially Argentina. The home of a lot of runaways.
Hey, Cardala, what's going on? How are you? Final thoughts on this. You never know. I mean, there's so many conspiracy theories out there. I saw one Marilyn Monroe.
Oh
That was
God.
crazy. Crazy.
Which one? The one you saw? The one that that her body disappeared for 6 hours.